kids back in the classroom.
I'm a teacher. I've been with Duval County for 23 years. I have a mother at home that is sick, and if I'm to get the coronavirus, I don't want to bring it back to her.
Duval County teachers are supposed to...
Thank you and welcome to the Dr. Dare Show. My name is Dr. Frederick Dare. I am a therapist here in Atlanta, Georgia, and welcome to my channel. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video and share it, and click the little bell at the bottom of the screen so that you will get updates of when I upload new content. We usually cover hot topics or mental health issues. Today is no different. We are asking the question that's on everybody's mind is, are our students and teachers ready to go back to school? Right. So what you heard was a news clipping
Sick, and if I'm to
from a
get the
teacher.
coronavirus, I don't want to bring it back to her.
Duval County teachers are supposed to report to work August 3rd. Students are due back a week later.
My daughter doesn't want to go back to school. She wants to keep the family safe.
When Duval County, it's no time to put kids back in the classroom.
I'm a teacher. I've been with Duval County for 23 years. I have a mother at home that is sick, and if I'm to get the coronavirus, I don't want to bring it back to her.
Duval County teachers...
So in this clip, we hear a teacher saying she's been teaching for so long and she's afraid that when she goes back to school, she has a mother at home and she doesn't want to bring anything back home to the mother. Then there's a parent who is saying that her daughter is afraid that she will go to school and bring coronavirus back to their family. So these are the concerns. So we're looking at three different perspectives here. We're going to look at the child's perspective, the teacher's perspective, and the parent's perspective, and all the struggles and data that's being put out there. So from a child perspective, there's some researchers out there who believe that the benefits of these children going back to school outweigh the risk of them catching the coronavirus. And they're saying that because they're saying that there's some studies out there which I really couldn't find. Everything was still not a definite. But saying that the students aren't as contagious and they're not contracting COVID-19 like the adults are. And they're also saying kids not going to school, they miss out on the social development aspect of it and the mental and the psychological aspects of attending school. And so there's this debate between online schooling and brick and mortar, going to actual school, and that is the debate out there. I just don't think there's enough evidence for us to make a decision to send our children back to school, and this is just based on what I've been seeing. Like, for instance, there was just an article the other day about 85 infants who tested, under the age of 1, who tested positive for COVID-19. Then I heard in Georgia there's, 300 athletes throughout the whole, I guess, entire high school in Georgia, the state of Georgia, that tested positive for COVID-19. Also in Virginia, there was some athletes, they were doing some athletic training and they tested positive for COVID-19. So for me, and this is just my opinion, I want you guys to comment on your opinion of this whole topic. But for me, there's not enough data to rule out if we start a class tomorrow and there's 30 people in the class and one teacher that everybody won't get sick. We just don't have enough data for that. Give me your comments on that. I'm not a parent, I don't have a child, but I do have nieces and nephews, and I wouldn't want to put them in harm's way. So the next perspective I wanted to look at, is teachers. And there was this clip that I heard that I wanted to share.
To the buildings full time and at full or mostly full capacity. Some of us are going to die.
Do you believe the teachers will die?
Do I believe that teachers will die? I don't. My goodness, I hope not. I certainly would never take an action that I believe would cause teachers to die.
The St. Johns County District is spending $1.6 million.
And so that was a teacher saying she was afraid that she was going to die if she goes back to school. So we have all of these concerns from teachers because they are adults. They have families at home. Some of them have underlying conditions. And who's to say that a child is not asymptomatic and may bring that to school and infect everybody in the classroom? And the teachers are concerned about that. And one thing I did want to go back to, the child may live in a multi-generational home, meaning that there's a grandmother or grandfather that lives in the home, or an older adult, and if they go to school and take those germs and bring them back home, COVID-19 or whatever, then you're endangering that household. And so that's the perspective of the child, the perspective of the teacher. They're afraid. There is a post going around Facebook. I don't know who created it. It's like a copy-paste. And I just wanted to read some of the things. It's concerns from teachers. And so I did want to read some of those things out. Let's see what we got. Yes. How many more people are going to die that otherwise would not have if we stayed home longer? 30% of the teachers in the U.S. are over 50. 30% of the teachers in the U.S. over 50. About 16% of the total deaths in the U.S. are people between the ages of 45 and 65. We are choosing to put our teachers in danger. We're not paying them more. We aren't spending anywhere near the right amount to protect them. This is a scenario. What if a student in your kid's class tests positive? What if your kid tests positive? Does every other student and teacher they have been around quarantine? Do we all get notified who is infected and when? Or because of HIPAA regulations, are parents and teachers just going to get mysterious, may have been in contact emails all year long? And then another one, I don't want to read all of these because it's a lot. What is the stress going to do to our teachers? How does this affect their health and well-being? How does it affect their ability to teach? How does it affect the quality of education they are able to provide? What is it going to do to our kids? What are the long-term effects of constantly being stressed out? So those are some of the concerns that the teachers have. And so our third party is our parents. They have stress coming from both ends. First of all, not being able to have a babysitter if the kids have to stay home, not having internet access for the poor families or even the middle class families, not having internet access for the students in order for them to participate in online activities, parents not being able to teach their students if the students didn't understand the online instruction that was provided by the teachers. And then there's the stress of sending your kid to school and them getting sick, and you're being held accountable for that. Or, again, they bringing COVID-19 back to your home, and your parent lives with you, or even if they don't live with you, your child is visiting them, and then COVID-19 can be spread. Then there's the question of a child wearing a mask all day long. We have adults complaining about wearing masks, even for a short time to go in a grocery store. So how are we going to get kids to wear masks all day long? It's just a lot. I have no answers to any of this. I just wanted to explore this question. It's a lot. There's not enough data. In my opinion, and I'll give my opinion, there's not enough data to support sending the kids back to school. I understand the social aspect of that, but here's what I kind of recommend. I say online. I say we develop stronger online application and teacher planning and teachers' plans and how they distribute information. We know there's different types of learners. But I say, okay, if you can have a small group of kids, maybe in a neighborhood setting, if they're in the same class, how about the parents take them and let them meet at least once a week for that social interaction with social distancing and all of that. And if they're struggling with lesson plans, with lessons, have those students work in those small pods outside in their neighborhoods, so that way they're getting that social interaction as well. And like I said, develop stronger online programs that teachers are getting those lessons, and they're making sure that they're putting attention to people that are visual learners, manipulative learners, like they like to touch things, or sight learners. So we're capturing all of those things. And another aspect is the parents that are struggling with the lesson plans and teaching their students. How about the teachers add an extra course for an extra time period to educate parents on the week lessons, so that therefore the teachers are educating the parents, and then when students have questions, the parents can jump in and help and not feel insecure about not having all the knowledge to manipulate through their students, their children's lessons. This is a tough topic. It's a tough situation. It's a scary situation. I'm not here to promote fear about coronavirus, any of that. I just had questions because what I'm finding is that most teachers and parents believe that there's no guidance coming from like the school boards and government on how they should facilitate all of this stuff. And so it seems like we're all on our own in gathering and maneuvering through COVID-19 at this point. And so I am concerned for the teachers, I am concerned for the students, and I am concerned for the parents. These three roles are all important in the learning process for our students. And I get it. There's a lot of stories where the mental health of students being outside of being at home for this long. There was a story online where a 12-year-old, I think he committed suicide because just the stress of all of what's going on and not really being able to socialize with his friends and spending a lot of time in front of a video game. His dad blames COVID because he says his son seemed to be like stressed out and he killed himself. He kept exploding on a video game and we're in a bad situation and we have to maneuver through it. And I hope this platform allows people to make comments. Whether you agree with me or not, I'm open to listening to all of this. Everything that I talked about is what I saw. I just felt like there's not enough information to say, hey, yeah, just send those students back to school or send those teachers back to school without people not feeling safe. I just don't, and I don't agree with the benefits outweigh the risk. I just don't. Again, my alternative, since people were like, well, you're complaining, I offer an alternative. My alternative is to, like I said, provide teachers with better online platforms to where they're, reaching all types of learners. Also providing that time period to teach the adult parents about the lesson of the week. And then for the social aspect of getting our kids out, instead of having 20 students in a room, how about you create this neighborhood program where the students are meeting each other, maybe put them in 3s or 2s, keep them social distance. If they're best friends, perfect, and they're in the same class, perfect. Sit them out in the middle of your neighborhood in a park or something and let them talk about the lesson, let them check in on each other, how they're doing for the week. That way you're giving them that aspect of the social piece, and they're getting out of the house, and they're focused on school, and they feel like they're a part of something, a part of a bigger piece. And then maybe once a month, all the students can see each other on the online platform, and they can talk to each other via Zoom or some app like that. But those are just Dr. Adair's suggestions. Let me know. Put your comments. There's no good comments, no bad comments. We're not name calling or anything like that, but I am open to your constructive criticism, And online versus brick and mortar is where we are, I believe. Online versus brick and mortar. And which one do you suggest and why? That's the question. All right. Thank you, Dr. Adair. I'm out. Don't forget to check out my other videos.